Hi guys, this is Alee Attoe, and I'm here for my lovely weekly Facebook spot, and just want to wish all of you, I hope you've all had a really amazing holiday. You had some really great time with your family, and hopefully just some great time just with yourself as well. And today for Facebook Live, I thought that we would go over a chapter in a book that I really love. It is called The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success, and it's by Deepak Chopra. And it's just a little tiny book, so there's lots of great wisdom in this book. I know this is going to be flipped around backwards when I show it to you, but I'm going to do it anyway. So it's this book. I'm sure there's some fancy Facebook trick where I can flip this around and be a mirror image, but I don't know how to do it. And I want to say hi to everyone that's here. I'm sorry for whatever reason. I can see that some people are here, but I can't see who. So if you want to type hi in the comments, feel free, and we can interact a little bit. And if you don't, and you just want to chill out and watch and hang out, that's totally fine too. So before we get into the seven spiritual laws of success, again, my name is Alee Attoe. I am a life coach and instructor with Best Life Creation Society, which offers personal development and life coaching. So you can either be a life coach, get life coach certified with Best Life Creation Society, get a ton of support. So it's not like you just do one certification program and you're on your own. When you're a member with Best Life, you also get ongoing training and instructing so that your coaching and your business just continue to expand, and you're working with a lot of other people to do that. And if you don't want to be a life coach, that's totally fine too. There's a ton of personal development classes. I mean, we've got multiple classes every day. So there's lots of things that you can do with Best Life Creation Society, including learning how to be an instructor, if that's something that you would like to do, or an ambassador, which means that in your local group or your local town, you can represent Best Life as well. So hi, Jen. Nice to see you guys here. So today, again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to talk a little bit about the seven spiritual laws of success. This book by Deepak Chopra. Again, sorry, I know it's not a mirror image, but you can kind of see the cover of the book. And I just wanted to read out of the first chapter, which is called The Law of Pure Potentiality. And I love this chapter, and I love thinking about this chapter as we're closing out one year and going into a new year. So, and as I'm reading, feel free to make comments. I know there's a bit of a delay, but I'll try to interact as we're going forward too. So the law of pure potentiality. The first spiritual law of success, the law of pure potentiality, says that our essential state is one of pure potentiality. Pure potentiality is pure consciousness. It is the field of all possibilities and infinite creativity. Our physical body, the physical universe, everything in the material world comes from the same place, a field of silent, unmoving awareness from which anything is possible. There is no separation between this field of energy and our spiritual essence, our self. The field is our own self. And when we know that our essential nature is one of pure potentiality, we align with the power that manifests everything in the universe. So I think this is so powerful, that coming to understand that there is no separation between us and this field of potentiality. In fact, we imbue this field, we embody it. And when we know how to tune into it, that we can create, we can manifest the life that we want. I'll go on a bit more here. Knowing who we really are gives us the ability to fulfill any dream we have, because the same field that nature uses to create a forest, a galaxy, or a human body can also bring about the fulfillment of our desires. That's pretty cool. Anything is possible in the field of pure potentiality because this field is the source of all power, all intelligence, and infinite organizing ability. Therefore, success in life depends on knowing who we really are. Isn't that true? When we know this about ourselves, when we know there's no separation between us and this potentiality, that it's in us, it's in our DNA, it's in our cells, that's where success comes from. It doesn't come from thinking the right way. It comes from knowing who you are and operating out of that powerful, infinite place. I love this. When our internal reference point is our spirit, our true self, we experience all the power of our spirit. When our internal reference point is the ego or self-image, we feel cut off from our source, and uncertainty of events creates fear and doubt. So I like this point too. If you're experiencing fear and you're experiencing doubt, then it's just a good indicator that you're cut off from your true self. And there's very easy ways to get back into alignment with that. The ego is influenced by objects outside the self, circumstances, people, and things. It thrives on the approval of others. It wants to control because it lives in fear. But the ego is not who we really are. The ego is our social mask, the role that we are playing. The need for approval, the need to control things, the need for external power are fear-based. This kind of power is not the power of pure potentiality, the power of self or true power. Self-power is true power because it's based on the laws of nature and comes from the knowledge of the self. Self-power draws the things we want to us. It magnetizes people, situations, and things to support our desires. The support from the laws of nature is the state of grace. When we are in harmony with nature, we create a bond between our own desires and the power to make these desires materialize. So it's such a difference. I mean, you can feel that when we are at peace and when we're drawing from our true self, there is harmony, just like we see harmony in nature. And when we're in fear, just kind of as mentioned earlier, that's when we often notice that things kind of start falling apart. So there's just some really great indicators in our life, knowing which way to go and how to make sure that we're on our path of alignment. How can you experience the law of pure potentiality? One way is through the practice of silence and meditation. This means tuning out the world and taking time to simply be. In the Bible, the expression is, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness is the first requirement for manifesting your desires, because in stillness, you connect with the field of pure awareness and infinite organizing power. Imagine throwing little stones. Oh, I love this. Imagine throwing a little stone into a still pond and watching it ripple. That's what you do when you go into silence and introduce your intention. Even the faintest intention ripples across the field of universal consciousness that connects your desire with everything else. This field can orchestrate an infinity of details for you. But if your mind is like a turbulent ocean, you could throw the Empire State Building into it and you wouldn't notice a thing. Ooh, hi Mimosa, hi Jordan. I love this. I think this is such a great visual because we've all seen a still pond of water and just seen what a small pebble or a small stone can do, right? But then if you're at a beach where the waves are crashing in, it doesn't much matter what you're throwing out into it. The ocean just doesn't respond. So this is saying in stillness, that's when our mind is quiet, when we're connected to our inner being and to our true self, when we launch those intentions or even just set them out very lightly. A lot of times we talk about using that phrase, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if I got a new job? Wouldn't it be nice if I found my true passion? Wouldn't it be nice if I felt more connected to source and my purpose? Wouldn't it be nice if I had more money? Wouldn't it be nice if I had a career that I loved? It's in stillness that when we launch those things, it creates that beautiful ripple effect. So yeah, I'm gonna go on here. Practicing non-judgment is another way to experience the law of pure potentiality. When you're constantly judging things as right or wrong, good or bad, you create a lot of turbulence in your internal dialogue. This turbulence constricts the flow of energy between you and the field of pure potentiality. In the silent space between your thoughts is a state of pure awareness, an inner stillness that connects you to true power. Through the practice of non-judgment, you silence your mind and access your inner stillness. So one thing with this too is we talk about a lot in Best Life, granting people their beingness. Okay, so because sometimes it's easy to see a situation, and usually it has to do with the way people are interacting with you or interacting with each other, and we can easily make a judgment, and oftentimes judgment comes from a place of, well, I would never do that, but that's not anything I would ever want to do. And it's a place where we're separating ourselves from other people in the situation, where this idea of non-judging, and also, so non-judging is kind of a passive way, I think, of thinking about it. Like, I'm just not going to judge, I'm just going to observe. But a more active way can just be this idea of granting people their beingness, granting them that the fact that they are human and we're human and we all come from the same place, we're all going to the same place. We don't understand where they're at. If circumstances were different, maybe we'd be there too. And we're just going to send them some peace and some love and acceptance, and not let the waves from them affect us, because we're going to stay grounded in our inner being. But we're still going to grant them that same peace, love, joy, acceptance that we have in our life, without making any inner dialogue or any comments about what's happening. Like, it's okay. I just inner stillness in it. And it can feel a little, when we do those things, we can't always see what happens. But I really do believe that sending that kind of energy out to others, those wishes for well-being for them, actually does change and affect the world around us. I'm back. All right, guys. Sorry. I have some connectivity issues that are getting solved this week. So I'm currently standing partially inside our garage to finish this up and to continue being with you guys. So I just was talking about granting people their beingness. I'm sending them some peace and some love and some serenity, and staying in that place of non-judgment. I'm going to continue on here. It says, another way to experience the law of pure potentiality is to spend time in nature. By observing nature, you begin to sense the harmonious interaction of all the elements and the forces of life. The lavish display of abundance in the universe is an expression of the creative mind of nature. Just by tuning into the mind of nature, you will access the field of pure potentiality and infinite creativity, and spontaneously receive creative thoughts. Whether it be a stream, a forest, a mountain, or the sea, connecting with nature's intelligence will give you a sense of unity with all of life and help you get in touch with the innermost essence of your being. I lost my spot here. 1 second, guys. This essence is full of magic and mystery. It is fearless. It is free. When you are grounded in the knowledge of your true self, you never feel fearful or insecure about money or fulfilling your desires. You never feel guilty about wanting to have, switching the page, wanting to have an abundance of anything, because you realize that the essence of all material wealth is life energy. You know that your desires are inseparably connected with everything else. Your very desire is not your own. It's an evolutionary impulse coming to you. So why would you doubt it? The impulse is part of the greater pattern, which is to evolve and grow into greater abundance and creativity. Oh, there's so much here that I love. So one of the things for a lot of us, we listen to the teachings of Abraham.
And Abraham says, if we were in your physical shoes, which you hear them say a lot, one of the things they say they would do is get outside every day and appreciate nature, because you do get caught up in this, just seeing, the mind of God in nature, the intricacy, the patterns, the abundance, the ebb and flow of the season, that you start to understand that what you want, first of all, what you, secondly, that, and Jen talks about this a lot, Jen Kazmarchek, the CEO of Best Life, that when you are responding to your deep desires, the things that come from your true self, from your inner being, when you are moving into those desires, you are actually expanding the universe. You're helping things grow. You're bringing creativity and love into our physical world. And Deepak talks about it like it's an evolutionary urge. It is how we as humans are evolving. And the more that we follow those beautiful desires, the more people that we bless. I mean, the more we get to be fulfilled and feel free and amazing, and like we fulfilled our purpose, but what we do blesses others as well, which is just it's such an incredible equation because it's win-win all around. The law of pure potentiality says that you are consciousness itself, both as it manifests in the material world and as it lies unmanifested in your being. With the knowledge and practice of this law, you can put yourself in harmony with nature and create with carefreeness, joy, and love. Whenever you go in the midst of activity, carry your stillness with you. Then the chaotic activity around you will never overshadow your access to the field of pure potentiality. I love that. Just that image of carrying that stillness with you, carrying that connection to your source and to your inner being, and knowing that whatever you do, you can stay in a place where it doesn't overshadow. And then maybe you feel sometime it does. Maybe you look at how you're feeling. If you're starting to feel something really negative, just move up that beautiful Best Life momentum diamond, where try to feel a little more generally not as bad. So if you're, try to find something that feels just a little bit better in a very general sense, just a little bit better. So, let's say like you're at a holiday meal and someone says something to offend you and you're having a hard time shaking it off or letting it go. Well, what would feel a little bit better? Well, he means well. Okay, that feels a little bit better. He didn't really mean to offend me. That feels a little bit better. Hey, at least he's here, and most of the time we have really great meals together and great conversation. That feels a little bit better. You know what? I actually really appreciate that my weird uncle has such an interesting look on life, because I learned a lot from him. Oh, that feels a little bit better. Now I'm back in appreciation. And you know what? My family's not so bad after all. It's great that we can get through most of the holidays really enjoying each other. And so you can see how you can take something and just move yourself back up into alignment and appreciation, and start feeling good again. So I'm going to finish off with some of Deepak's tips on how to keep experiencing the law of pure potentiality. So take time each day to be silent, to connect with your spirit, and just be. And with this one too, find a time that works for you. I know a lot of times it can feel like early morning feels good to people. But I've found if I've gotten out of the habit of getting up early, that it's hard to shift back into it. I actually do better taking those still moments at night. And once I do that for a while, then the mornings come easier. So this is all about finding ease and finding a way that works for you. So don't be stuck by any one way of doing things. Just find what works for you. Maybe, if you've got young kids after they're in school, and that space between going to work and going to school is the best time for you. Whatever, just find that time that works for you to be still. Practice non-judgment. Begin each day with the statement, "Today I shall judge nothing that occurs." So that's something you can think of. Or again, you can say, "Today I'm going to grant beingness to everyone around me." That could be another way that you say that. Throughout the day, remind yourself of that statement each time you catch yourself judging. Okay, or remind yourself to grant beingness, grant peace, grant love, grant acceptance. And then commune with nature, silently observe the intelligence with everything. Watch a sunset, listen to the sound of the ocean, or simply smell the scent of a flower. I find in the wintertime that there's not as many flowers to smell, that I go to my cabinet where there's some essential oils. I just take deep whiffs of, whoops, I almost dropped you guys. I just take deep whiffs of essential oils when I want to have a nice, beautiful fragrance to refresh my day. So yeah, so that is the first law of success by Deepak Chopra out of the 7 spiritual laws of success. I hope that you found some value in going through this chapter. I know that I absolutely loved it. Anything that reminds me to stay connected to my inner being, to my true self, to, watch my thoughts and emotions and move to a higher place of beingness within myself and granting beingness to others. It's just always something that I love to review. So I want to thank all of you for being here with me. And for those of you who are still celebrating the holidays, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And I will chat with you guys next week. I think it'll be 2019 by then. So I'm excited to talk with you all then. All right. Until then, many, many blessings to you. May you know deep joy and peace throughout the week. All right. Love you guys.